Hello, so I'm doing the assignment for the VR, the VRGDD, which is the oh my god, the game design document for AR or VR game is asking me to go ahead and create a screen capture to go ahead and explain the idea. So let's go to the document. So this is the game design outline that I have. In another class, I was working on the idea of the Grimm brothers. So I continued with that since I already had some investigation with this area already. The Grimm brothers, the stories, like the original stories of Cinderella, Rapunzel, the Frog Prince. These are the original scary stories. So this design documents blueprints built for the game. The builds should be addressed. So pretty much, if I created a game that would fit in the VR world, pretty much. So I have in my other class. It's called Villainous Fall, which is funny. I just wanted to go with the Villainous Adventures, Escape from the Grim Realm. It's a VR journey through the dark fairy tale. So I think it's more of like where if you're in a lobby area, or you can still speak to NPCs, anything, but if you go to like a challenge, you have to solve a puzzle or a riddle of some sort, and then you get a deeper understanding of like the Grimm brothers stories too, how they're not all fairy tales. So like it's like a learning, but having fun still. So the player steps in the richly immersive VR world where they embody classic Grimm brothers fairy tales, navigating challenges to escape the cursed realm. So it's adventurous and puzzle, and it's VR. Since the Grimm brothers tend to be dark, but it's not too dark. It's just like I would say it's kind of grotesque. I put it for teens and adults, not for kids, just because if you look up the Grimm brothers stories, they tend to be very like crazy. I think there's a story where Snow White, her stepmother, like in the Disney version, she dies from falling rocks. And the Grimm brothers, Snow White and the prince make her wear these stone oven shoes, and she has to dance to death, pretty much. So, yeah. So the game flow summary: players will move through the game using the VR controllers, allowing them to interact with the environment. And the interface includes teleportation mechanics, navigate between areas, and the inventory system of collecting items. So the teleportation, I feel like it would be used just to go from one area to another. It's not like Red Redemption where you have this whole world to explore. I feel like it would be more like you're in a certain area and you have to solve all these puzzles until you go to the next area. So like the more puzzles, the more riddles you unlock, the more further like you like open this world and discover. The game features a dark and whimsical art style inspired by the classic fairy tales. Realms are richly detailed, in the eerie forest, enchanted castles, spooky dungeons created in there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It is the Grimm brothers, so I wanted to make sure it would be like captured at the eeriness of it, the darkness. These stories were created back in the in the night days, like when there were queens and kings, peasants, and all that. So it would be nice to have that, like embody that feeling still. So the players progress by completing puzzles and challenges in various environments, unlocking new areas as they adventure and learning facts and clues about the Grimm stories. Missions and challenges: each area contains a distinct challenge that requires players to solve riddles, find hidden objects, interact with the characters to move forward. So which is cool. And if this game would be created, I would add like information hints or like about the stories, so people can learn about these stories and understand them, because I think each story had like its own message too, so I would like to still embody that and continue in the VR game. So yep, they're designed around fairy tales, magical potions, all that. The objectives: primary objective is to escape the Grimm realm. So like it's more like you're a person that gets into this realm, and your solution is like to get out of that. You want to get out of into the story, but while you are in this journey, you are learning about the Grimm brothers story. So Players explore different areas, interact with objects, solve puzzles, advance the story, the game features and checkpoints, and for saving progress. Yeah. So players can pick up, throw, manipulate objects within the environment, which should be simple. Just touching, throwing, and then that's pretty much it. I do want to go a little bit more down, since let me just make sure. Here recording GD explanation show reference images. So I do want to go ahead and go to the reference images. So let's go just down here. So I put some images. I think these are the ones that like really go ahead. So like this is like a Grimm Tales, fairy tales for adults, and it shows the Grimm like Grimm comes from the Grim Reaper of death. So but they're fairy tales. So they're dark fairy tales. So it's like this match. So I like got this like one that has a castle, but it's mystical and eerie. So it's like you know, like Disney versions of a mermaid is like happiness, Ariel singing, but in the stories she could be a siren that calls onto man and then to devour them. So this is like an eerie scene. Most of the stories take in the midday or at night, so it did show a tree there with the stars at night. Like this is, even though it's eerie, it is beautiful. And of course, this one's from Cinderella. And then I found this one because this one just got my eye. I like this like tree lady. I think there were so many Grimm stories. I think this is of a story. I don't know which story. But here, this one shows you like how like it's old, has like all these stories. Like these are like images of the stories, and yeah, these are pretty much the images how I would like the game to be. More fantasy, of course. Back in the olden knights and kings, like gowns and all that. So, and then we look for reference audio. So let me go ahead and copy this. Oh, or I could do this. Yeah. So I'm going to take you to this audio if it's available. Alright. I want to go to this one first, okay? And let's play it.
Use AI to create your next logo with Design.com. Start by
Oh, you're such a bad, bad liar.
So these have a mix of songs. Of course, I wouldn't want them to take over the whole game. I feel like I want to lower the songs, like lower it, and then when there's scenes that corresponds to the fairy tale, just play it along. That way, I don't want to put like a too old song. I feel like there's this other song I do have right here, which is kind of like I would put it for the lobby. Let's see, like when they're not playing a puzzle or anything. Those are like the ones I really want more prominent, but I would throw all those other music during challenges, since they're a bit more like hype, like something's going on, you gotta solve this faster, something like that. So, alright. Make sure. It doesn't say how long the recording has to be. I'll talk a little bit more about the documents. Here's information where it asks to elaborate more in the audio, the theme and audio. So you just have immersive ambient soundscapes that reflect the eerie yet whimsical nature of the Grimm brothers. Haunting music, maybe orchestral. I think it's a mix. I think it depends on the story, pretty much. And sound effects, dynamic sound effects that come into players, such as clicking, inventory, spells, like ones found in the regular game. I feel it doesn't have to be anything special. I would say maybe the closest thing would be like Link, and he's picking up his item, does the cha-ching sound. So, or like fairy tale music. I have a flow chart here. This is what I would think it would have, like a menu, the start game, then showing the, like, if you already played the game, collectible items that you have found, and then progress in the story, like to get to the end. I would like a progress bar with summaries, and then when you do play the game, you pause the game, and you can have history, saving history, and then still access your collectibles. That's pretty much it. If I do have to resubmit this, I will. Just let me know.